very helpful. Minister, is any of that 225.5 million going to be used for legal fees? And if so, how much of that has been allocated to that?
The money is, as Ian Stewart indicated, for very important components of the quarantine program and including testing. So this is direct supports for the quarantine program.
So none of that 225.5 million has been allocated to legal fees then?
I will get Ian Stewart to confirm that.
No, that money does not include funding for legal fees.
Has the minister, has money been put aside for the government to cover legal fees when it comes to hotel quarantines?
As the minister, I'm focused on making sure that we're doing our utmost to protect Canadians against the importation of the virus and the variants, and the additional quarantine measures are
just a yes or no. Then,
the additional quarantine measures are very important
so just a yes,
to understand whether or not travelers are arriving with COVID-19, and furthermore, whether or not the positive cases are variant. I'll turn to Ian Stewart for that answer.
No, that's okay. I got the answer. Thanks, Minister.
Well, actually, you didn't. So I can certainly turn to Mr. Stewart.
You avoided answering the question. You gave me. You're just trying to run out the clock. I understand that, Minister. It's fine. I have a constituent in Southern Alberta who's a lawyer and filed an action against the government on the hotel quarantines, and his argument is during the Oaks test that the government must prove that it has jurisdiction or is warranting an infringement on Canadian rights on the Charter of Rights and Freedoms, Section 6. He got a response from Health Canada and your department saying you will not relinquish any data that would justify the reasons for the hotel quarantine. Why is it your decision not to release that data that would show information on why the hotel quarantine is justified?
I'll turn to Ian Stewart to speak in general about the data we're collecting, but as this is a matter in front of the courts, it's not for me to speculate or discuss. Perhaps, Ian, you could speak about the data that we're tracking.
Yeah, no, for sure, I could speak about the data.
Just before you go to Mr. Stewart, the position was you are not going to release any information to help in the courts. So I haven't asked the question yet, Minister. If there is science and data that would warrant the reason for a hotel quarantine, that would say it is safer for a Canadian to quarantine a hotel as opposed to in their house, or this is a means to reduce the spread of the virus, why would you not want to share that information with Canadians to be transparent? Why are you refusing to share that information?
As the matter is in front of the courts, we don't respond.
Okay. Well, I think if you were, if this wasn't a political decision, you would have been happy to share that information.
No, as a matter of fact, I'll just negate that. We don't respond to matters in front of the court.
This was before it was in the court. We've asked this question before, and you've refused to answer it, Minister. So to me, this has nothing to do with a court.